Hello everyone, Jeff from the Halcyon Masters, and today we're going to be talking all about update 119, which is just around the corner. So for today's video, we're going to be looking a lot in the news section because Super Evil Megacorp has dropped some just amazing information for us to take a look at. So if you look on the title screen, we have three things that are scrolling across the top and which we're all going to talk about today. The first one is the new hero that is coming out, which is Lyra, I think is how it's pronounced, or Lyra. We'll hear on the dev stream announcements on what the actual part in Sky Tier 3 is coming out soon, and they also released the schedule for the Update 119 skins that will be dropping each week, as they did with 118. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I think the first thing I want to talk about is just the summer skins. So we have seen that summer skin limited edition Krul is coming out. He's got a surfboard going through his heart. Looks like a shark is taking a giant bite out of it. Looks pretty good. And they're also teasing us with two more limited edition skins that they say are going to be increasingly difficult to get. My best guess is that we have an alpha in the middle, and we're thinking either Arden or another one of the larger players for update 1.20 over there on the right-hand side of it. Would love to hear your thoughts. If you have a good idea, leave it down in the comments below. If it's spoilers, go ahead and leave those out. Some of the cool things that I think is going to be nice about these summer skins really are these special surprise animations which they are highlighting. And I think for Krul, I'm guessing it's going to be a giant shark that's going to come up and smite the person. So let's move on a little bit and talk about the skin release schedule for update 119. So on the first one, we're going to have the ability to get the Krul Beach skin. Next one on July 1st, we're going to get Kestrel, who looks just amazing. They actually did a promo video with Samsung recently, and you could see the art department actually working on this piece of splash art right here, which was pretty cool. So a little bit of a petal flare coming in with the bow like that. She's got a pretty cool hat on there. Looks a little like a fairy, but they're calling her the Slavin Kestrel Tier 1, and that's coming out on July 1st. On July 8th, Reim's getting a little bit of love. Looks like Gandalf kind of walking out. He's got his staff right there. Nails and hands are still as creepy as ever. He's got those glowing green or blue eyes. Definitely going with the Ice Mage theme there. And they're calling him Northwind Reim Tier 1. And this one looks really good. It is the Fury Rona Tier 2 skin. So they teased this on Instagram and Twitter a little bit with kind of the three skins that are coming out. But Rona just looks pretty badass in this case. She's got some electroshock axes on there, kind of a cross between, I don't know whether it's electromagnets or even kind of reminds me of like a tattoo gun in some way. She's got a little police officer theme going, and certainly some leather and metal to round out the whole outfit. So those are the announced skins that are coming out in the next couple updates. So with the skins, we also have to go into how do we get those and what is this new rewards and progress system. So Super Evil Megacorp is changing up the general progress system and actually implementing something called Sunlight. And from the best that I can understand, Sunlight is gained pretty similar to how you'd gain Glory within the game. But then they also give you the ability to get bonus Sunlight by using certain in-game items, most notably skins. So the Sunlight is what's going to actually bring you into the summer rewards. So by getting Sunlight, it's going to help you unlock a special box, and then those boxes, as you progress through the game, will have more valuable cards in them. So we're talking about the limited edition summer skins. They also are looking at they have 1,000 ice card in there, or probably some massive amounts of glory if you want to continue to stockpile in that part. So here's where we're looking at collecting Sunlight to boost your rewards. You can get it in casual, rank, battle royale. I did see in the Reddit threads that even if you lose a game, you still will get a little bit of sunlight, but not as much for a victory. And here's where they talk about the bonus sunlight with skin. So if you have a tier 1 skin, you're going to get a 33% bonus on sunlight at the end of the game. Tier 2, 66%, and tier 3, 100%. And they're doing a little teaser with the limited edition skin, giving us a couple question marks there. So I'm not sure whether it'll be different by skin or if it will kind of vary, and we just have to see which one works the best. So I actually like this kind of bonus. It kind of rewards the players that have been around a little bit longer and have built up the skins or have elected to buy a couple of them. But it still doesn't limit new players from getting it either. So here is the screen that kind of shows the sunlight. It's going to be in a new seasons tab and just shows your progression through the season. So they're talking about joining the summer fun, and now they're going to hint at some huge summer gameplay changes that are going to be coming out June 16th. So now let's go over to the June 16th announcement, and it is the summer preview. It does talk about Lyra, new items, and some gameplay changes. So get ready, we're going to walk through all of these. Now, as they teased in the last update, here is the summer preview with the Lyra breakdown, new items, and gameplay changes. Get ready, there's a lot of information in here, and we're just going to talk about a little bit what we think this might do. So first of all, here's the splash art for Lyra. She looks fantastic. She's got her book of spells right there, and her ability and breakdown. So her role is as roam, and so she will be doing mainly healing and protecting of her teammates, and she uses magic to do this. So let's talk a little bit about her kit. So the first one is Principal Arcanium. So this actually goes a little bit along the lines of an Adagio, but her attacks are arcane missiles. And so the first one that she sends out is a basic attack. If you hold her still or in place and don't move her, the next one will actually charge or channel and then charge and then send out a larger missile after it, which is pretty cool, something new in the game. The next one is the Imperial Sigil. This is her A, and this is a mark that's placed on the map, from what I understand, and enemy heroes that are near that mark will be damaged, and allied heroes that are near the mark will be healed, and then the more damage or heal the mark does, it actually decays the mark. But, like Celeste's A ability, if Lyra puts another mark on top of that one, the mark will explode, dealing more damage or more healing depending on who's around. The next one is the Bright Bulwark. So this is more of a fence or a guard. So what it does is it can stop dash abilities like Jules' Jump or Vox's A ability. But it says that it does not stop movement speed increases, most notably Catherine's Pursuit in this part. It'll be interesting to see what this does to the likes of a Black Feather Ultimate. It can be reflex Bach, but when an ally or pushes or pulls an enemy into the wall, the enemy will stop at the wall rather than going their full distance. So it creates a barrier, and it really is going to do some good area control effects within the game. It's pretty cool. And the last one, and I will put a video in here as I talk about this, is the Arcane Passage. So this is the ability to teleport in the game, which is going to be so cool. So the actual portal itself can be used by both allies and enemies. So it doesn't give you an immediate exit for all of your teammates because the enemy can follow you. Now, the portal does have a few things to kind of protect you so you can still save your allies, etc. But one of them is that enemies cannot use the portal until 1 second after the portal has been opened, but your allies can use it immediately. So you drop the portal, allies can go in, you've got a second delay to either regroup, use a fountain, continue your escape as you need. But you can also pair this with Lyra's B skill, which provides those movement speed slows, allowing you to either get in or get out while controlling the enemy's move speed. So I like this playing as Lyra section here. So it says she's a powerful healer. Paired with ranged heroes such as Celeste, she'll be on the edge of fights, and her protection zone will keep them safe on the back line. You can also use her with melee comps, Soph and Krul, and she can teleport them into the fight from a distance. So we're going to see a lot of really cool team formation and gameplay here. Now they say that because her kit is pretty powerful and she can do so much within movement and heal, she's extremely fragile. And they're even telling the enemy team, hey, focus Lyra first instead of what you normally do, which is go after one of the carries. And that is kind of the wrap-up of Lyra. Summer gameplay changes. There is a lot in this section. So SEMC wasn't kidding when they said they're going to change up a lot of the mechanics, add new items, and give us almost a feel of a kind of a refresh game here. So the first thing is ambient gold. So gone are the days where the Rome had to pick up the Iron Guard contract, and the only way to get the additional gold was to use the Iron Guard contract. Now, ambient gold is just wherever you are. You don't have to have the Iron Guard contract. You just need to be within 14 meters of a minion kill, hero kill, or objective kill to get that bonus gold. And to give an example of this, it's the same distance as the experience radius is. And we'll talk about this a little bit more down in the experience section, but it actually changes the game up a little bit. So now the Iron Guard contract doesn't have the gold passive. It's on for all allies. And if two allies are in the same area, the ambient gold is going to prioritize the ally with the least amount of gold. So experience and gold range. So experience is when you kill a monster, you gain experience. We all know this. But now what they're doing is they are making the hyper level experience a little bit different. By matching where the gold range is and the experience range, you have to work a little bit closer with your jungler if you actually want to get that additional experience and gold. Or you can leave outside of that area, give your jungler the full experience, but you lose out on the ambient gold for that minion hit. So now it's a little bit more of a trade-off, and you have to objectively think about how you're going to work in the jungle rotation. I think this will have a big impact, especially on the early game, whether you want to get your jungler up to level 2 quite quickly, but that leaves the roamer and support with very little gold, or you work together as a team, come in both at level 1, try to get to the jungle shop quickly so that you can have the item advantage there. So here they're talking about experience distribution. So when you are going after a monster or a minion yourself, it's just 100% experience is yours. If it's two people, you get an 85-40% split. And so that goes to the jungler, the person that kills it, and the person next to him. And if three heroes, if you're all like sitting in the top bush right by the lane, it's split 65-30-30. They increased the gold trickle up from 4 to 5. I actually really like this because you're sitting on the jungle platform. Everything's in whole numbers, whether it's 5s or 0s. And when you have 4, you just have to sit there for that extra little second to get it to click over. I think this is a nice little change. So now we're going to talk about the new items that are coming. So Iron Guard contract no longer has that gold bonus passive. It's just in the game. But now what the Iron Guard contract does is give you the bonus heal for after a monster is killed. So as a roam, if I start the monster, I'm taking the aggro. My jungler kills it, I then get the heal. We also have a protector contract for a more defensive start. So if you're going up against an enemy team comp that you know is going to be a little bit more aggressive in the early of the game, this one is a Iron Guard contract that has an active ability that puts on 120 health barrier to the nearest ally for 2 seconds. This is a little bit like a Crucible, but you can get it earlier in the game, and it's for the protection of the roam, the jungler, the roam, and the laner. And then lastly, we have the Dragon Blood Contract. And this is for early game aggressiveness that can let you dominate the match. So if you have an aggressive comp and you want to invade on the enemy team quickly, you can grab this contract, and what it does is it actually gives additional bonus damage to a marked enemy. So this will be pretty interesting to see. It'll be a lot of fun to see how different team comps or structures decide do we go passive and make sure that we can build towards the late game? Do we go for a Dragon Blood contract and quickly invade on the enemy jungle? So we're going to see some cool things there. So they reworked a little bit in the utility tree. So Stormguard Banner has been reworked to be a stronger pickup for heroes that have a weak wave clear, and for teams that intend to prioritize objective control over constant battling the enemy team. So I think what they've done is they've reduced the true damage to heroes, but they've increased the true damage to non-heroes to make it so that you can do a faster wave clear. There's also that 2.5 energy recharge, 150 energy, and we can see that that one's going to cost us 1,100 gold. Next is the Storm Crown. This is a new item. So an upgraded version of the new Stormguard banner, this deals significant but not overwhelming damage to heroes, but it's fantastic for quickly taking down objectives. So at 2,200 gold, its passive is that after using your ability, your next 4 basic attacks in the next 6 seconds will deal 140 bonus true damage to non-heroes, or 35 to heroes, and it can be refreshed once every 6 seconds. It also has a perk of having some additional cooldown speed, some energy recharge, 200 energy, and a little bit of health at 150. The next section is all about boots, and Super Evil Megacorp changed this one up quite a bit too. So now the Journey Boots has an interesting change. So it used to be that every 30 seconds the Journey Boot recharge would be up. They're changing this from 30 seconds to 60 seconds, but it now has a passive that says if you damage a hero, the cooldown is instantly reset to 12 seconds regardless of where it is. So this means if you use it just as escape and run away, the recharge is now 60 seconds. But if you use it and you hit an enemy hero and then run away, it's now a shorter cooldown at 12 seconds. The health is down from 300 to 250, so a little bit of a nerf there, but it'll still be interesting to see how this one picks up. Warhorn has been moved in the item tree from its original position into an actual boot, which I think is a good place for it, although it's kind of hard to think about whether, like, hey, does everyone actually share the same shoes when they hit the Warhorn? But yeah, just a little thing to think about. So these new boots have replaced Warhorn as a team-wide mobile option. When you activate it, just as with Warhorn, your allied team can sprint for 2 seconds, gives you a 0.4 move speed, and 500 health. The Stormguard passive has been removed, so no longer is this a build on the Stormguard path, and so you're not going to get those passives added on there. There is a Halcyon Charger boot that's being added to the game, so it's a powerful new option for both running down your foes or escaping from a pursuer. Halcyon Chargers should easily be available to get in and out of danger. So they say choose this over the Journey Boots when you want to prioritize ability usage from cooldown speed. So the Halcyon Charger sounds like this is going to be a good option for mages because it's going to give you a 15% cooldown, 4 energy recharge, 250 energy, and 200 health. So I think we're going to see this on the likes of a Celeste would be a good example. Next we have a flare gun. This will be a tier 2 item. It has an O card plus a recipe of 300, and it gives you a flare once every 18 seconds or so. I'm not sure if there's a charge on this, but it also gives you the bonus of 250 health. Contraption got a little bit of a change as well, so they say it no longer is built out of the Stormguard banner. Contraption now charges a bit faster and offers a bit more defensive power. So in order to build the contraption, you need the flare gun, a chronograph, and it's going to cost us a total of 2,100 gold. It does give a 35% cooldown speed reduction, 3% energy recharge. The health regen has been removed, and the Stormgar passive has been removed. And the last part's on here is the other section. Kraken is no longer affected by any positive buffs. That means that Warhorn can't speed up Kraken to do a rush towards the base, and Adagio's Gift of Fire, so you can no longer heal Kraken. I know the Adagio mains out there are crying just a little bit. Players may not be able to walk into the area where the jungle shop resides, so that means those sneaky little scout traps that are down there are not going to be placed there. And then they also decreased the size of the jungle shop tap, which I'm really happy about because there's so many times when I'd be in a team fight right by the jungle shop, tap on the jungle shop, and get obliterated. And the last change they did is flares are no longer globally visible. But, that's kind of helpful. So if you are checking an area and your whole team is looking to kind of stalk through the map, the enemy team isn't going to be able to see that on the mini-map on where you actually are. So many changes coming up here in 119. It'll be interesting to see how these actually play out in the game. I'm super excited to actually get my hands on these new items, the new heroes, the skins that are coming out. It's going to be a fantastic update. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. We'll do our best to help. Again, this is Jeff with Halcyon Masters. Have a great day, and we will see you on the fold.